mortified. So I focus on being fortified. Twisted shit encrypted and codified. Products of a simulation. First generation sufferers of overstimulation. My stipulation got me looking for some ventilation. I changed the station, ignoring Satan's invitation. No visitation for my brothers off solicitations. Incarcerations, it's called the Matrix. If life's a bitch, then she's a dominatrix. So death got to be your masculine presence. Opening his arms while you basking in sessions. Sometimes when I talk to God, I call my passive aggressive. Will I open heaven's doors or just burn from my lessons? Blessings. You know the game been told. If I was you, then my soul would have been sold. Watch what you do, cause it's coming back tenfold. Either way it goes, man, I'm 10 toes, 10 toes, 10.
Yeah. What's up? We back to back at it. You know what I mean? Back to back with it. Shout out to the brother Fantastic. My age is kicking in. The brother was waiting patiently for me. And the brother's getting old. That's all. But I'm glad y'all here. Got 30 people in the building already, so I really appreciate that. Back to my interview series, as you can see, we all know and love him. The Mr. Fantastic, you know what I'm saying? He's been in these YouTube streets for a minute. We've had our little, I wouldn't want to say disagreements, but sometimes we find ourselves on opposite ends of the conversation, but he's a good sport all the time. Like, I really appreciate the way he came through this weekend. He handled himself very, professionally, because it's not always about agreeing, but, sometimes we get so caught up in the personas that some of us may present or just our talking points that we forget that we just people. We have our own stories, we have our own struggles, we have things that inspired us to become who we are. And Fantastic was always been somebody that's been like a fixture in the spaces I've been around it. And he be everywhere, you know what I'm saying? He seems to get along with everybody for the most part. He stands his own. And I really wanted to pick his brain and just see how he came about with his ideas, his inspirations, setbacks, trials and tribulations, just things that he learned through his journey in life beyond just what we see on YouTube. Because like I said, we're humans, we're people, and we're more than just our perspectives, you know what I'm saying? So I would love to pick this brother's brain. So without further ado, let's get to it. The one and only Mr. Fantastic. BABG in the building, you know what I'm saying? So fantastic. What up? I appreciate you here because it's a lot of things going on. So you definitely could be talking about a lot of stuff, getting a lot of content off your chest with all the things that's going on. So the fact that you came to spend some time with your boy, I really appreciate that. So first of all, how you doing?
I'm good, brother. I can't complain, man.
I hear that. So, what really? Just tell us about yourself, like your origin. Like, how did you get into this content space? And like what really led you to become a content creator?
Basically, man, just get my thoughts out. I think all of us started somewhere on Facebook, and I was doing a whole bunch of writing. Not much video stuff or whatnot, what have you. And got over to YouTube. I was a watcher of YouTube at least for like 2 or 3 years before, I ever thought about even making content. I think it was, it was a very, very niche thing at that time. I'll say probably 2016, 2017, I turned my TV off. I start watching TV and pretty much got all of the information and stuff from, YouTube, historical stuff, a lot of tinfoil stuff, a lot of conspiracy stuff, a lot of things that you just don't learn in the public, right? So it went from there, bro, and we're here today.
Really. So where you from originally, brother? Like
Macon, Georgia. Mactown,
GA.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Macon. Yeah, and it's funny because I got some homies that's from up top, but they lived down there for a little while, and that's definitely the dirty. You know what I mean? That's definitely not a place you definitely got to have some thick skin. You got to overcome some things to get out of it. So how was like growing up? How was life growing up in Macon
Hey
And you,
man, the Mac Town is definitely, bro. Like I said, not for the weak, as they say. My mom and dad got married, had me and my sister. They got divorced when I was 6. I grew up on the east side completely, totally. Um, went to school there, all those different things there. Was always like a nerdy kid. Gifted program, all that shit, quiz bowl. I call it a little growth spurt. I think what my freshman going into my sophomore year. I've been playing basketball, but not seriously, not knowing what the hell I was doing. I took basketball serious once I saw my boy Kobe. You feel me? Got interested in basketball and been like a hooper slash nerd ever since. Turned to sneakerhead, turned dad, turned sailor, turned retired, man. So everything starts back home, bro. Like I said, I really appreciate my upbringing because a lot of people like to attribute, oh, you're a conservative and you're this and you're that. Nah, man. Just coming from where I'm coming from, I mean, we didn't even have a real political base or mindset at all.
mhm.
But that's where everything started, man. Good old Mac Town.
Exactly. I think sometimes when people forget that conservative is just a word. You know what I'm saying? Before it's just a political party. Like it just means to be, a little more reserved. And I think to a degree our people has always been conservative just by nature of just the word, the definition, not necessarily a political party. So I think sometimes people get so caught up with that. So what inspired you to call yourself Mr. Fantastic?
Like I said, man, it's a nerd thing, man. A lot of people don't know this. At any given time, I think Mr. Fantastic is either anywhere from the smartest person to the third smartest person in the Marvel universe. So I got long ass arms. You feel me? So I was like,
Okay.
hey, smart, long arms, nerd shit, Mr. Fantastic. Why not?
Okay, it ain't because you be reaching sometimes, ain't
I reach sometimes, man. But hey, whatever I reach for, I grab. You feel me? Pause. You got it.
I
So
hear that.
I don't miss, man.
I hear that. I hear that, man. So yeah, so from high school, you said you went straight to the military?
No. I was a year out. I did the community college things for a year, so I got to experience adulthood for a year of adulthood, man. Shoot the shit, play around and whatnot. Have some fun. I went in the military when I was 19, so I went in summer of 2003. I wanted to make sure it was right after 4th of July, so I can enjoy my summer, but I didn't want it to be to where it went to the winter because it's real snow up there. So it was like right after that. So yeah.
Okay. Oh, so you went to like the New York base?
No. So the boot camp is in Great Lakes, Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was supposed to go to the army myself. I
Or
took the oath and everything. And one thing I didn't realize, I got like bamboozled. Not to make it about me, but it just letting you quick story. And they would do things. You had to take the ASVAB test. Now, my recruiter told me that it's just a common knowledge test. And no, it's not. You know what I'm saying? That's something you got to really study for. And it's like once my personal recruiter realized that how they did me, I guess it was some type of stipulation. I don't know, it was some type of stipulation that I was able to get me out of it. But if I can go back, I think I would have probably tried the military. I just would have been better prepared because I feel like based on my scores, I would have been straight to infantry. But I was like kind of lied to. And she was like, she wasn't supposed to tell me. She said, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but you don't have to go. And they used to come to my house for a while. But looking back, I could really see the benefit of the military. And I think a lot of people feel like, it's the white man's army and things like that. What's some of the misconceptions of the military that people have that you realize is just simply not true?
Oh yeah, that's the main thing, man. The White Man Association, whatnot. Of course, it's a white organization because it's the military, right? And it's the United States government, so that's going to be the majority of people there. But just a lot of the things, man, racism and discrimination, and you can't get ahead, and you gotta scrub toilets, and you gotta peel potatoes, and all the movie shit, all the stereotypical shit. But man, like I said, bro, I say all the time, it's the best worst decision I ever made because I swore to God, bro, I would never join the military. My sister finessed me. So how you say you got bamboozled? My sister finessed me because me and my sister were working at McDonald's together, and she was, she was going straight out of high school. She was just ready to get away from home or whatnot. And the recruiter kept trying to talk to me, and I'm like, man, nah, get the fuck out of here. But McDonald's, man, saved my life, bro. I had a horrible assistant manager, had me do some shit. And while I'm doing the the job. I'm fucking mopping up puke, right? This dude, I'm saying he saw my name tag. I'm the only me in like the country at this point, right? I only seen like maybe 4 people with my real first name. So he's like, "Hey man, hey, you went to such and such high school?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Damn, you did really good on the ASVAB, right?" Scored nerd, typically high. So I was like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" Like, "Yeah, man." He said, "Yeah, I'm." It was an Air Force recruiter. He was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Hey, you know what? You're too good for this, bro." He said, "You're too good for this." Yeah, I said, "You know what? You're right." I quit the next day. So yeah, that shit saved my life, man.
I hear that. I hear that. Were you able to like see different countries when you're in the army? Like, what's the most remote place you was able to see?
Yeah, nah. So in the Navy, bro, I call it a floating prison, man. Shout out to all my sailors, man. Shout out to all the vets. I got to actually experience a army base one time, bro. Camp Buren. Army, well, Air Force bases have the best food overall, but it's like Air Force, Army, then and boat food. It's horrible. But my favorite place I went, bro, I would say Dubai. First time I ever went to Dubai was in the Navy. So that was like my favorite spot. I've been to Hawaii, was it 2 or 3 times? At least twice, if not 3 times. I was in Hawaii for my 21st birthday, and then I was in Hawaii for my 33rd birthday. So, all expenses paid, man, by the Navy. I literally been around the world. I circumnavigated the world. Well, I say 7/8 circumnavigated, and then the rest of it on a plane flight. So I literally went one way, one direction, and ended back up in the same spot traveling.
Got you. So, when did you realize coming from the inner city and being in the Black community? When did you realize there was some type of mental gap between the men and women? Like, at what age did you realize the problem per se?
Oh yeah, that wasn't until late, man. Like I said, that wasn't really until I would say right before I started doing content, because I started seeing the disconnect.
Really?
Right? Yeah. I was super liberal, super blue, super everything, bro. Like I said, until I didn't get away from that mindset until I turned the TV off. That's why I tell people all the time, anything I say, I love being challenged. Don't believe anything I say, just go look it up. And doing research and seeing different things and learning a lot of things, bro, that we weren't taught within the community, of course, but also from a government standpoint, from a control standpoint. A lot of us are just ignorant, man, and a lot of people think ignorance is a insult, but it's just not knowing. So I was ignorant to a lot of things. I didn't have an understanding of psychology. I didn't have an understanding of emotional control. I didn't have a lot understanding of a lot of things. So once I removed myself from a lot of that and just started being more logical, everything just started to click and fall in place, bro.
And what age did you come to this conclusion?
I would have been 2016, 2017. So what? I think like 36, 37, something like that.
Really, brother? That's surprising. That's surprising. You come off as somebody that I feel like kind of knew what time it is for a minute. So, but at least you're honest. Like, I respect that, because I one thing I didn't realize when I got into this space, because I think as Black men, we kind of ignore, maybe you don't agree, but I feel like when I started to learn not just this information, but any kind of information, it's like you kind of felt it, but you would ignore it. And then when it's like this space and certain trains of thought kind of force you to see what you already knew. You just never really leaned into it, but you kind of had like that feeling. Because I've always noticed this thing in our communities as a young man. And I just like, it's almost like I felt obligated to be with our sisters, like regardless of what. I felt like it was our duty. It was my duty to just deal with whatever they had on the table. Like at the age of 23, I was married. You know what I'm saying? Somebody with a kid, with a child. And it's almost like I felt like we had to do it. Did you feel like that coming up as well? As like, you kind of owed them?
Oh, well, no. So yeah, I mean, well, from the personal life tip. So again, everybody laughs when I say this, but my sperm got stolen when I was 21, bro. So I guess we're in similar situations, right? Started dealing with the girl in the Navy, whatnot, what have you. Hey, I saw her. I didn't see her for a long time. I'm young, out here, fun, doing my thing, whatever. I come cross paths, we cross paths. We we start kicking it or whatnot. Things start getting serious. She already got a kid, 2 kids actually. My young dumbass, I don't know no better. I just see her, big butt and a smile, pretty face, right? Her daughter, the youngest daughter, gets attached to me. Starts calling me daddy. We doing a relationship thing. We everything's cool. Not really, but she's not super duper toxic. And she had plans on keeping me for the rest of my life, man. And she stopped taking the birth control without telling me and got pregnant on purpose. And I'm
Wow.
having twins. Again, it's never, children are never the lesson, they're the blessing. Learn that lesson and went from there, man. So when that happened, I didn't get jaded then, but it definitely showed me the ways of women. I just still wasn't the same thing you're saying. It was like, I tried to make it work with her. You know what I'm saying? I did right by her. I went out here wild and do no stupid shit or whatever. And what really showed me for real was like once I got married to my wife and just how she turned. So in the midst of that, that put a real, you know, sour taste and awakening, just like the ways of like how women could be, how they'll tell you, hey, I love you, you had kids with them, you spent time, you sacrificed, you did all these things. But because I was married, it was just like, it's just that bitch. You know what I'm saying? But then over time, you come to understand, nah, man, it's just something like you said that women have in them organically. And at any time they can flip that switch and, it is what it is. So yeah, because like I got married when I was 25 or 26. So yeah.
Yeah, we definitely got a lot of common with that. I felt the same way. And it's like the bad part that sometimes we do this and we're not even where we need to be as men yet. Because I know I still had a long way to go, a long way to a lot of things to accomplish for myself. But I was with her and she got pregnant, and I felt like my thing is like she didn't make me marry her. I did that on my own because I just never wanted to have a baby mother. I just never wanted to do that. So I'm like, we already live together, we already have a child. Let's just do it. But it was definitely rough. What are some of the misconceptions you feel like people have about your stance and your perspectives?
Oh man, we ain't got enough time for that. But I'll make it brief, right? I hate women. I can't get women. A lot of things concerning my personal life or whatnot, what have you, bro. Again, you being a member of the BABG dark skin delegation, brother, it's not hard for us out here. So I just laugh when people say that, for the sake of saying it. But the crazy thing is, me and my ex have a wonderful relationship, bro. Like it's crazy. We get along better now since we're divorced and just in the co-parenting thing than when we were married. I think it's maturity though, because she was extremely young. I think she's 21 when we got married, and like I said, I was 25. So like you said, two young people trying to figure things out, whatnot, what have you. But basically, just my take on it is from me being jaded or me being, not being getting what I want. None of my baby mamas were ugly when they had my babies. Okay, one of them still not. You know what I'm saying? My ex-wife not, but I can't. My baby mama also was like 5-6 years older for me, so I'm gonna reserve my thing. I ain't saying she ugly, but she, age didn't caught up. But not I don't make ugly kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't put kids in ugly women. So yeah, man, just that basically that. I'm here whining and complaining because I've never been able to get the woman I truly want.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think a lot of people think that because men have an opinion. I don't know why they feel like if you have an opinion on a woman, you must have you can't get them. And it's like a lot of times the men who have so much diverse opinions because they around them a lot. You know what I'm saying? You can't really come to these conclusions if you're not getting the women. You have to be around them. You got to know them. So, a lot of guys be around them. I often say that I feel like black men deal with more varieties and types of black women than black women deal with types of black men. Do you think it's some truth to that? If not,
That's
let
ain't
me
much
know.
more true. That's a bar, bro. That's a bar for real. Like, because our types and our things that we're willing to give a woman a chance for is way broad, way earlier. A woman sticks to that type, and then if it don't work, she switches it up, right? Strictly, hey, I want this, and this. If it don't work for over a period of time, then she'll say, historically the whole, hood nigga to regular nigga thing. So she'll spend her whole youth chasing the streets, chasing the fun, chasing the danger, and then she'll finally switch it over once she sees, what I'm saying, it's not fruitful. But men, like you said, we go from she a little shaky, but I can fix her. She a little shaky, but she fine. She shake, you know what I'm saying? All these different things, financial issues, attitude issues, good women, bad women. I think we're willing to gamble a whole lot more than the women are.
Absolutely. Why do you think they have such a problem with that, with admitting that? Coming from the inner city, I mean, even though you're from the South, the cities, it's still, the hood is the hood. Because I'm from Newark and it's definitely a lot faster, but crime is the crime. Macon has a lot of gangs in Macon. It's a big Crip city. So I'm sure, it's a lot of stuff going on. Why do you think our sisters have such a problem when men say that, when so many men come to that conclusion? Why does it think it's such a struggle for them to realize what we've seen as far as their affinity for a certain type of man?
Accountability, that's what it is. Accountability and underlying like shame, right? Because they understand all these things that they say, and especially when we talk about these things and from this perspective, from a platform, they just, you can't deny it. So you know how hard it is for a woman to admit she's wrong. She'll cry, she'll scream, she'll yell, she'll do everything, then apologize, right? You want some food, you want some head. She ain't gonna never say I'm sorry. She's just gonna offer you some shit as, like, you know what I'm saying, as sacrifice or whatnot, right? Or as tribute. So I think that's what it is, man. Again, women's internal nature. I think when we put the black dynamic on it, again, I say this and I stand on it. Black men have a unique interaction with women unlike any other group of men on the planet. Any other. I don't think I know for a fact no other man at the numbers and at the frequency that we do have to be challenged in your masculinity and challenged in so many different aspects of manhood.
I'm glad you said that, because I said that on, I think, a piece a little while ago. And I said, because of this, I think the most emotionally intelligent man is us, because we have to be. We're tested. We can't afford to act a fool. We got to be on our best behavior when we're around each other, because it can go left around each other. We have to be on our best behavior at school. Like, we're on a short leash. And I think because of that, we are the most emotionally intelligent person in America. I think everybody, especially when compared to our sisters, white males and white women exclusively, because I feel like they're all allowed to kind of like act out to a degree. You know what I'm saying? You got the Karen, you got the Keisha, and you got the white male. They talk crazy to a cop. Like, they're all given they're given like a real long leash that we don't have. So I think because of that, we are forced to be the most emotionally intelligent man. Do you think it's some truth to that, or am I reaching?
Oh yeah, I say all the time. I say in order for a black man to be in a relationship, he has to be a default therapist, default therapist, psychiatrist, whichever one don't, psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever, right? Unless whichever one don't give the medicine. Yeah, bro, you have to be extremely flexible emotionally. You have to have a bunch of resilience, bro. A bunch of resilience. Again, I think you said it before, we're dehumanized, and it's a cycle to where you're a man, figure it out. You're a man, you got to be tough. You're a man, you got to work. You're a man, you got to make money. And it's this constant thing of where you can never get a break. And if you do break, you just weak. Not you didn't have a support system. Not no one that was there for you to worry about your mental health or your emotional health. Nothing other than you're a man. It's your job. You're supposed to fix shit. You're supposed to figure shit out. You're supposed to fund shit. Fix it, fund it, fuck it.
Exactly. And I heard you say it before, which I didn't realize that you even paid attention to these things, because the conversation we have on these panels. You mentioned that you can be a conspiracy theorist. What events in your life led you to look at life beyond the lens? Because I didn't even know you even seen because most conversations I hear you in is about dating and relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm definitely a conspiracy. I even hate using that term because it's like,
yeah.
Kind of make
people that know. Yeah, man. I'm 10 for a hat. I'm 10 for a hat, 10 for a do rag. Shout it, man. Hey, all of that, man. I'm pretty sure I came across Behold a Pale Horse first. So I heard somebody talk about that, and I started reading that. And it's just, yeah, and it's crazy how everything he said was true, right? Everything, right? And then shout out to Chronicles, wherever he at. I don't know what the hell Chronicles of Judah doing. I came across Chronicles of Judah, and that just, man, you know, rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole.
Would you say
A little bit.
who's that?
Chronicles of Judah 144, man. Like I said, he was a big YouTuber. That's one of the people that ushered me into YouTube. So I started out with not Jay Dyer, it was another guy. He was talking about the occult in hip hop and all these different things, the checkerboard floor, you know, Freemasonry, all that shit, right? So I started that, and it led me to him. On top of, you know, the whole shit, Bilderberg Group, Council of Foreign Relations, bro. I'm all the way in there, bro.
Okay, fantastic. See, they be trying to throw that shit on me, man. You know some shit too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? See, y'all be sweating it's just illa. Everybody, the cats know what time it is. Is there anything in your life that pushed you to that train of thought? Like, is this something that, especially being in the Army, did you come to this after you became a young man? After you became an Army, or you was led to these type of things as a young man?
That's another thing too. So of course, you know, 9/11 was a big one, right? So, and I always been like a science guy. So when I started watching the stuff about 9/11 and understanding, like, you know, implosions, purposeful implosions versus like something burning down, and then you look at all the data to where there's never been.
So clear. I don't know what people.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, and then, you know, all the different things, and then the whole building that was nowhere near it that burnt down and collapsed too. So yeah, man, that was probably the biggest one. And you know, I at that point, that's when I was like, well, why would you lie and what's going on? And if you're doing something this blatant and this, you know, obvious, and everybody's like, no, that didn't happen, and then you put, you know, America around it, so now you can't question it, you can't whatever. Okay, there's a whole bunch of, you know, Ephesians 6:12, basically.
Speaking of Ephesians 6:12, would you raised religiously? Being in the South, you know, the Bible Belt, was that something that was imposed on you? How did that? Yeah, talk to me. How did that go? What made you leave it, if you did, or if you're still a believer? Yeah. You know,
for 18 years, bro. For 18 years, I was in church every Sunday. I might have missed maybe 2 Sundays of church, bro. Maybe 2. I was in church every Sunday, bro. That, like I said, that was non-negotiable. My mom ended up becoming I think she became a pastor before I left home, right before I left. My mom's a pastor or whatnot, what have you. So yeah, man. I hated God for a little minute, bro. I hated God. I couldn't stand him because, you know, my mom was like, pray about it, everything. I wanted to go do something, ask the Lord. Whenever I asked the Lord, I said, hey, the Lord said, yeah. She said, well, hey, the Lord said, he didn't tell me that. And I said, didn't the damn song at the devotion say, you don't know what the Lord told me? You don't know you weren't there? You don't know when you don't know well? He told me yes. Well, he didn't tell me. So somehow my mama overrides the God, man. So hey, like, me and God was beefing for a little minute.
And yeah, I feel like that too. Like even in the song at the beginning, that plays, I said, sometimes I talk to God, I come off passive aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Like it was very like, because everybody could just say, God told me, God told me, God told me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if that's the case, anybody could say that. You know what I mean? Like, what's the conclusion? What are your issues with religion? Do you think at this point religion is something that Black people need? Is it something that we could use? Or do you think it's something that's delaying our mental elevation?
Religion for Black people is probably the most detrimental, one of the most detrimental things at this point, because it's not true. It's not what it's supposed to be. Most of this stuff is prosperity preaching and, you know, all these different things and whatnot, what have you. We seen now, you know, a lot of debauchery and endangering children. So I think it really needs to be destroyed and rebuilt, bro, to be honest with you. And like I said, our generation saw that get infiltrated. And what's crazy is I remember seeing the elders, like the deacons or the stewards of the church, be like, hey man, nah, that boy can't be up there running that pulpit, all that switching and twitching, right? No, you ain't, leave him alone, let him, you want him in here so it'll change him. You know what I'm saying? And now we see, you know, the Eddie Longs and the, you know, the Donnie McClurkins.
It's demonic.
Yeah,
like in the future, very, very near future, I'm really going to get into that bag a lot, because a lot of people don't understand that the church hurt a lot of people. You know, it's a real, because especially in our era, we're around the same age bracket. Back in the day, people, it went from people going to the church, like a lot back then, people would go to church for a miracle. Before the prosperity gospel, it was the miracle gospel. People wanted healing. They wanted a supernatural effect, you know what I'm saying? And you've seen it evolve. And what I noticed that the church would attract the most humble people, the most sweetest people, and they would hurt them. And I seen at a young age, because man, listen, rest in peace, my mom, bro. My mother worked at the church. The church had a school, so I went to school there. And she went to school of ministry. You know how that shit go. And we was there Sunday. So I'm there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, bro. And then while I'm working at the school, people be so familiar. So I'll do anything. They go get my mother. She right downstairs. You know what I'm saying? So, and my mother would hit me in front of the kids. So that was traumatic. So now I'm in front of all my classmates. You done hit me in my face. Now I got to rebuild my identity because people take social interaction for granted when it comes to children. If I'm 8 and 9, there's still a social hierarchy even at that age. So now you done embarrass me. So every time you do that, I have to rebrand myself. I got to deal with that. You know, that shit was crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like a cult. And I realized that it goes from trying to be connected to the higher power to it just becomes being accepted by the presbytery. And you see this big social catty dynamic in church where it's not even about God no more. It's just about who the pastor likes, who the minister likes, who makes the pastor happy. And it's not even about God at all. Like, did you see those dynamics growing up in the church?
Well, not in the church. Like I said, we it was nothing. It wasn't no mega churches where I was at, right? The mega church happened when I was probably in my teenage years, and that was like an Atlanta thing. So
Gotcha.
for me, it was like little country spots. But being like in church in it, and that's crazy too, bro. Our parallel is really crazy because my mom too, right before I left, she started working at a church too. So she was working at a church, and my baby brother and sister, that was like their life. Everything was church, right? So yeah, man, I think you parenting, that's another big one, right? And love my mom to death. I love my dad, you know, but that, bro, that's another thing too. I don't think we understand the impact of embarrassment, right? Or not being there for you like when you were a kid. So my teenage years, bro, for me, that's why I'm so, people think that I'm brash or I don't care. I was doing my teenage thing on my own, everything, you know. But my mom was pretty much, she told me this, you know, way past. My mom was fucking depressed, bro. She was depressed. You feel me? So if she's depressed, you know, she's trying to raise 4 kids, right? She can't be there for me. But at the same time, that's her job as my parent. But like you said, we figure that shit out, keep it pushing, nigga, and you just go forward. And I think that also ties into, like you said, well, I seen my mom struggle. I know she loved me, but she, you know, might treat me like shit, or she might whatever. So now when I get into a relationship, I'm accepting that in a relationship because I associate that with love. So
I
yeah, man.
think because of that, what I realized when I was younger, I was trying to love my mother vicariously through these women. And when I seen like my daughter's mother, her and my mother was friends. So I met her through my mother. And sometimes women connect through pain. Oh, and next thing you know, you caught up in this color purple ass dynamic, and nigga, you ain't mister. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't got nothing to do with you. And now you feel like you have to, it's like we feel like, because my father wasn't in my life, you know, until I got older. He married my mother, but he left us when I was 2. And it was some real movie shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how you in the movies they say, let me go smoke a cigarette, you go open the door and they gone? That shit really happened to me. Like, no, seriously. Like, he literally said, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, and that motherfucker just never came back. That was like 17 or some shit. You know, I would just randomly see him. You know, rest in peace, my father, I love him, but I already went through that. And it's like you be feeling like you have to love all of them because of what your dad did to your mom. And because a lot of time when I speak about relationships, I'm talking about our era. Because I feel like the 80s babies went through something very unique and specific.
Hey, bro, it's like, bro, I'm telling you, it's like a mirror, man. It's like I say this, bro. I say this all the not just in a relationship dynamic. I don't think we understand the importance of us, bro. I don't think we understand the importance of our generation. We're the first and the end of a lot of things, bro. We're the bridge between the gap between the past
It's
and the
nothing
future.
after us. I
It's
always
nothing.
say this. I say the generation before us don't understand the generation after us, and the generation after us don't understand the generation before us.
Exactly, bro. The
We
bridge.
know both sides.
Yep. No, both
They have
sides
no idea. The old heads and these young, they don't know nothing about the other. Like
at
nothing.
all. Total disconnect.
Us is it. We are the ill. We seen it all. You know,
Yeah,
hip hop, the technology, because social media happened to us first.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like we still understand the past and we still have a connection with the youth. Like it's like I'll be telling
Yeah.
my daughter, I'm like, listen, it's not like my the issue with me and my mother. There was a huge information gap. I said, when I tell you some shit, you hearing it from the horse's mouth. Like, ain't nobody more cooler than us. And it just, I don't give a fuck if I'm 70. Like, you're just not, this is it. We are the coolest generation. It's just, I don't give a fuck what you think. Listen to what I got to say. Like, everything
And
you
that's
think.
and that's what I was saying, man. Everything's like music, entertainment, technology, clothes, style, all that shit, bro. Like I said, and again, man, it's funny because my oldest, my twins are 20. So me and my son always talking shit, the oldest, but then my youngest son swear they created everything. And I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? Like, get out of here. Yo,
Get
like,
out of here. Like, y'all still wearing shoes that we wore. Like, Jordans is literally my life. Like, I was
yeah, like,
born when
yeah, man.
first Jordans came out. Like, it's funny because at the Jordan's age, it's like it's reminding me of my age because it's like I'm literally
Yeah, almost in tune with all the years and shit.
like the ones came out 85, the twos 86. It's like that's my life. You know what I mean? So to see them do that. Speaking of 80s babies, are you a hip hop fan?
Of course, man. Of course.
What are you? You was there with us, and you was there on the panel with Anton, and we started talking about hip hop. How do you feel about hip hop, and do you think the conversation about it is not held correctly? Because me personally, I don't think hip hop is rap. I know, I'm from up north, of course, so I was born around the Mecca, so I don't look at it as the same. To me, when people say rap is hip hop or gangster rap or trap or drill is hip hop, that's like saying that the 3-point contest is basketball or dribbling is basketball. It's like, no, it's a part of it, but basketball is defense, post up ability, passing. Hip hop is to me the big picture. So how do you feel about that? What misconceptions you feel like people have about hip hop?
I think that's real small. So if you're talking hip hop, like you know what I'm saying, LL,
Not just up north, then, because I think there's a
well,
difference
no, I was
between.
gonna say so like LL, Cash, Outkast, Scarface, our generation, right? Early 80s, you know what I mean? Mid to early 80s, late 90s, I mean early 90s, whatnot, before the whole NWA shit took over. I think that's something specific to us and probably Gen X right ahead of us. So I think that was very because then we were the birth of, you know what I'm saying, the gangster rap generation. So when people make the argument, I understand them because, like, say for us, especially in the South, it's very, very limited if for people that would qualify as hip hop. All that was gangster rap, trap music, booty bass, all that type shit, right? A lot of bass, a lot of beats and stuff. Not too much, introspective, a lot of lyrics and shit, right? Even once you get the lyrical, out of all of that, if we talking 2000s, Luda, right? Everybody else, Luda's the only one in that era that wasn't talking about rapping, trapping, selling drugs, all that shit. So
But to me, I don't think talking about selling drugs necessarily makes it gangster rap. It's how it's talked about. Because like T.I., I loved T.I. back in the day. And he used to talk about trapping. But to me, I still consider T.I. a hip hop artist. Like, he was really lyrical. That was his perspective was just from the trap. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference between rapping about just gangster shit or rapping from a gangster's perspective in life. You know what I mean? I don't like, he has songs like Just Doing My Job. Yeah, he talking about trapping, but there was more underneath just
I
that.
got you. Storytelling and deep and
You
much
know what I'm
deeper shit.
saying? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? he said, what do you say? Never mind me, man. I'm just doing my job. Like you see the struggle. You see the struggle in what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to live like this. You know what I mean? It's like, that's hip hop to me. To me, just talking about gratuitous ignorance and gratuitous violence, that's just rap. But if you have a story, if you can tell, like he had a song, "Still Ain't Forgave Myself." That's a man being open and vulnerable to his own mistakes. So to me, I think it's easy to just brush over that with like, oh, that's just stupid nigga shit. It's like, no, like Jay-Z said, do you listen to the music or do you just skim through it? You know what I mean? So I think that needs to be a delineation because I think hip hop saved a lot of people's lives too. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
yeah, definitely. Like I said, just like you said, DMX would be a perfect example, right? A lot of rough shit, but again, one of the best, some hip hop artists ever, bro. Some of the most deepest, most introspective shit you could ever, Slipping is one of my favorite songs, bro. And like I say, it actually aligned with me and helped me through a lot of shit, teenage years. You feel me? So yeah, I definitely agree there. But I think, like you said, I think that becomes a very, very I don't want to say niche. I would actually say like a more of a professional conversation at that point because a lot of people just, bro, a lot of people never really. Bro, I'm a fucking human jukebox, bro. So we get to talking music and not just that, like you get the R&B, and then a little bit further back, Ozzy Brothers and shit, bro. I'm a music head, bro. So I know for a fact the importance of music to the Black community is one of the most influential and one of the foundations of it. But I just think, once you lost the tribes, once you lost KRS-One, once you lost more of that introspective and it became more of the, gangster gang, shoot them up, kill them, la la la, all the shit. I think that's where it gets lost, and that's all people know. Like I said, like it goes back to what we said about it being the bridge before the gap. If you're not born before 2000, your hip hop artists are few and far in between. Maybe
I think
10%.
what changed the most part, but I think it needs to be a conversation because it's like in the spaces that we find ourselves in sometimes. Oh, they just hate girls. That's not true. But if you just brush it up under the rug, that's how people could perceive it. That don't mean it's right though. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean that's what people are just talking about. It's just women. It's way more underneath that. And I feel like that generalization, people need to mature and really understand the difference because because if we generalize, that's the biggest issue of Black people, period, is that we're generalized as a people. Oh, they just Black niggas. And it's like, we think that's wrong, but we don't argue it when it comes to certain subgenres of cultures and mediums and perspective. It's like, yo, it's not what it seems, and you need to do your due diligence. It's like right now, if somebody just say, "Oh, that's a conspiracy," oh, that's just some conspiracy shit. You're gonna be like, nah, not really. Like, did you read it? Did you really pay attention? It's not just that cut and dry. I think that mentality is why the world is where it's at today, especially our community. It's really an ignorance and generalization. And to your point, they don't do that. But my thing is this: if you're not gonna do that, don't talk about it. Because you're gonna confuse people to just make a generalization of something you don't really know that much about. Like, I think were you on the panel when we was talking about I don't know, I think you may have was, but how just people just generalize what we talk about. Oh,
Yeah.
sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's a problem. But we don't never want it done to us, but when it's done to something else, we act like, oh well, that's just how it goes. Like, now we need to become mature and teach the children the difference. Because even now, I think it's not just people stop making hip hop. I think it stopped being promoted because even now with the Spotify era, stream era, people still making that type of music. They still kicking that shit. That's just not what the radio is playing. That's just not what pushed to the youth. So it's not like it doesn't exist. It's just not promoted as much. Do you think it's some truth to that?
Oh yeah, man. Bodie James is probably one of my favorite rappers, but I don't think nobody even knows who he is for the most part. You know what I mean? Definitely, man. But I think, like you said, once you start having that conversation, like I said, it's a very limited people that care, and I think that's what it is. There's not enough people that care to be in
And
that
that's the
conversation.
problem. It's not enough people that care, but there's so many people who don't care that got an opinion on something. And to
Yeah.
me, that's dangerous. If you don't care about something, what you say about it could really be a little off. I don't think you should talk about nothing you don't care about because your heart ain't in it and you're going to confuse somebody. But we could talk about that all day. But let's get back to these conspiracies. What is the conspiracy that really piqued your interest? Because it's a lot. You know, you got the flat earth, you got the hollow earth, You got the I don't know if you're familiar with that train of thought, the Hollow Earth theory.
Not Hollow Earth. No, I heard of Flat Earth. No, not Hollow Earth. I never heard of Hollow Earth.
Really?
Nah,
You ever heard
never
of
heard of it.
Admiral Richard Byrd and Operation Hot Jump?
Uh-uh.
Oh wow. Well, I'll give it to you real quick. Pause. They had a he was an admiral back in the early 20s to 30s, and he supposedly flew beyond the poles, and he was the highest ranking naval officer in the country at the time. So his credibility was like official. He said on television that I want to fly to land beyond the poles, and basically they said at the top of the world, and I think the hollow earth theory and the flat earth theory kind of started to merge for me as I got old, like as I'm getting older, because it's like I don't know if it's hollow or flat. So I think the earth is bigger than we think it is. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more so because according to him, he said there's an opening up there, and he flew into it, and it was a whole different. It was a more plush green land, and vegetation was big, almost a place that's kind of like synonymous with something you would see in like Avatar. And he literally said this on television, and it's something. Yeah, he wrote a book called Admiral Richard Byrd's Diary. And
Okay, I'll check it out.
yeah,
Because I've heard of that. I've heard of what you're talking about. Like, yeah, like you know what I'm saying, like pretty much like you're back in like the Jurassic period or something. Everything's bigger, green, and all this stuff and whatever. But
and it's funny, right? When I started to learn about this theory, I seen King Kong. Remember the first, not the original one, but the first one that came out in the early 2000s with like Jack Black or something like that. And they went up to Antarctica, or they went like it was a lot of Iceland, and all of a sudden it turned to this plush Greenland. And I'm like, yo, I think they alluding to the hollow earth. And I said that back then. Fast forward, the last King Kong before the last one, they literally go to the hollow earth in the movie. Not saying it's true or not, but I think the earth is bigger than we think it is. Because
most definitely, because like we've never even gotten to the bottom of the ocean. And like you said, I say this all the time. A lot of people don't understand this. Revelation of the method, right? Everybody be talking about like how they tell you like little shit in the Simpsons, like the Simpsons predict the future and a lot of these shows and stuff. Bro, a lot of they have to tell you this stuff. So if you that's another thing. So a lot of the stuff that you see in the movies and whatnot, what have you, it's true. But and they have to present it to you, and it's just like, well, we told you. But
exactly, because it's like they feel like as long as we said it, then we ain't allowed to. We don't have to tell you
right there.
true.
You just didn't notice it. Yeah, it was right there in front of your face.
They don't have to tell you what's true or what's not. All they gotta do is present the information.
Yep.
But yeah, that's I might have to pick your brain about that some more. I didn't even know you was hip to stuff like that. How do you feel with all that being said, all the things we've been through? What do you think is can you think the relationships between black men and black women of our generation can be salvaged at this point? Tell the truth, to be honest now.
Hey, that's the only thing I know how to do, man. Unfortunately, no. I think our relationship is gonna have to be the sacrificial lamb. Our generation is gonna have to be the sacrificial lamb. And but definitely start teaching and saying it. Saying the right things and teaching the right things. How do as I say, not as I do. Because I think it's just way too much separation. And I noticed that I always forget the name of this. You remember what was the Clubhouse, right? So when the whole Kevin Samuels Clubhouse thing happened, that era, bro, the level of vitriol, and people always say, I gotta say this too. Black men don't hate black women, but there are a lot of black women that hate black men, bro. I'm sorry, that's just the truth. And be it, I guess it's like the stubbornness or whatnot or what have you, and some of them actually go through things, but a lot of them have trauma through somebody else, secondhand trauma.
A lot of it be from their goddamn mama, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's secondhand trauma. That's what I'm saying. It's not.
It's how it come to us though, but it be coming from a woman, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not. We get the blame, and we have to fix something that we had no responsibility for. Right. That's going back to the part of saying you got to be a therapist, you got to be a psychologist, all these different things. You got to be a fucking punching bag. I forgot to use that. We have to be an emotional punching bag, and it's just too much damage, bro, done. So I think at this point, you salvage those as you can salvage, but definitely focus on the future, because that's the problem. The problem is after us, no one's seeing mothers and fathers together no more. it's either baby mama or, you know, at best, you know, possible co-parenting. But we are the last generation too to grow up with, you know, in two-parent households where most of our parents were married. So now these kids haven't, or we're a generation and a half removed of nobody having moms and dad in the same crib. So
that's crazy.
Definitely got to start with the kids, bro, and just go from there.
It's funny because I literally said that on a panel years ago, and they was like, "So what you think the solution is?" Well, I said, first of all, there's many solutions. I don't think it's one, but I think it's the children. And they just thought it was the funniest thing in the world. But it's like, okay. But I want to play a clip for you, and I want your opinion on this.
The reason why affirmations for Black men has like transformed and changed my life particularly is because the more that I affirmed Black men every day for 2 years, the more that I realized I didn't love them as much as I thought I did.
Speak more to that.
It was the act of finding something different, of studying, of trying and looking to understand. It made me realize that I had never done that before. Until it became something that I was doing because I saw that people needed. And then I started to do it. And I was like, you're telling me I've lived 27 years of my life and I haven't cared to try to understand Black men. I haven't even cared to try. And I would consider myself a really loving person. But for a while, I have been encouraged to invest in only self or understand only self or try to get only for self. And I think that there was this also idea that I already knew him. I already knew everything I needed to know about him. I would study him for what? Get to know him. What is the reason? He's always there.
That's deep. When you see that, what do you feel? How do you feel about that?
No, I mean, she finally telling the truth. Somebody actually saying it. I think that's what a lot of us go through, man. You know, I think it's to the point you said too, though. If you can't love yourself, you can't love anyone else. And I think a lot of these girls grow up without the love necessary, the confidence. This is why we have a weave problem. This is why we have a whole bunch of makeup. This is why we have a lot of women that don't see themselves beautiful as the way they naturally are, right? And then that metastasizes into a whole nother bunch of different issues. It makes you know, interpersonal relationships extremely difficult.
But the thing about that, when I seen that for the first time, it was almost scary. Because it's like, how many of y'all think like that? And how many of us been around? It's like we around you thinking it's sweet, and you got a whole nother outlook on niggas. You know what I'm saying? And we just, and we don't even know what the fuck going on. It's like, how can you not ever consider your natural God-given counterpart in your life? It just be crazy to me because it's like you always felt it, but to hear them finally said, it's like, you're just one. So how many of y'all feel that way? How
And
long?
not just one. That she's the one that realized it, Illa. So it's so many other women just like her. She's saying, you know, 20, 30, 40 plus years in, bro, and they've never cared about a Black man for real. They see him as a, you know, of course, protection. They see him as provision, but to actually love him and care about him and, you know, see who he is and what makes him tick and what he wants and what his desires are, bro, very few and far in between, bro. You feel me? And I think that's why we get blamed for things. When we understand that, though, it's just like, Shawty not fucking me for real. You know what I'm saying? That feeling you was talking about earlier, like she cool, we cool, and I'm more in it than what she is. But this is why a lot of men are starting to pull back, because I think that sixth sense, if you want to call it that, is really starting to kick in. And us talking about stuff like this and you showing clips like that, we're waking a lot of brothers up, bro. So now that men are requiring things, just human beings, and this is just, you know, human decency and reciprocity, right?
Basic shit.
You sassy, you feminine, you're this. And for the first time, Illa, we've challenged the fucking misconception of manhood and healthy relationships, and we're the problem.
And it's very dehumanizing. Very dehumanizing. And my only pushback to a lot of cats sometimes be this, but I feel brothers' pain. I realized at a young age, like my mother, we come from that era. We was raised to be real gentlemen. Like we was raised to be gentlemen and have chivalry. Get that woman's door, help her out. Your mother would make you help random people out. Like, you know what I'm talking about. And I realized as a child, these girls don't like that shit. They think I'm corny for that. You know, I peeped that early. I'm like, hold up, I'm helping. When I was a little boy, I would say, I'll help you. And I would realize who the girls would gravitate towards. And it was just a boy who didn't give a fuck. He just was rough and wild, and he didn't give a goddamn. And they just was flocking towards this nigga. And I'm like, it's like our mothers was preparing us to be another woman's stepping stone. It's like they had some secret society symbiotic mental relationship where they just preparing their sons for your daughter to play them. It's almost like a factory. Did you feel like that too?
Bro, this is one of the things I had a falling out with my mom about this shit. And I blamed her because I'm like, and she swears she told me. And I'm like, yo, you never told me like she was bad for me or she was wrong or whatever, and la la la. I told you, you just didn't listen. I said, no, the fuck you didn't. You didn't tell me. And I said this so many times, Illa. They set us up for failure because if they expose those women, they expose themselves. Right. So it's a self, and like you said, that's exactly what it is. The girl code, the sisterhood, they call it, that shit's real, bro. Women look out for women no matter what, even at the detriment of their own sons, right? And that's why these conversations are, because we the only people that can say it. And like I say, you have to even, so many dudes don't even reach that. You know what I'm saying? God bless your moms, right? For you to be able to criticize your mom, especially after her passing, bro, that's, most niggas can't even say that in their mom, here.
Yeah, I love my mother to death. And bro, my mother died in my arms, bro. And the thing is, I've been very vulnerable lately. I don't know why. I just have been. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have no more parents. They both gone. So it's just like, I'm not saying I'm looking for somebody to save me. I'm just showing people this shit is real. And it's like, at some point you can't just, I don't have nothing to prove. I know I'm comfortable in my manhood, but somebody gonna see this. Some young man need to see this. Some young woman need to see this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if I gotta be the person to tell my story, then fuck it. I ain't gonna tell them every goddamn thing about me. But when it comes to general things like that, it's like, bruh, this shit is real, bruh. My mother, even the circumstances around why my mother passed, it was around my daughter and her mother. So like, I ain't about to get too personal, but my mother was only here to help me with my daughter because I had an emergency situation to come down to get her. I had to just snatch her from my mother and just bring her here. Just know, I live by myself, you know what I'm saying? So I just had to just grab her and just bring her down here. No plan, just get her and figure it out and try to put her in school because of something that her moms did. But her mother and my mother was friends. So it's like, the things I would tell you about her that you would say, oh, no, Eric, that ain't true. That ain't true. Yes, it is. To the point, by the time you found out that the things you tried to tell me that I'm just seeing and I'm bugging, I'm just tripping, it hit the fan so hard that it stressed you out to the point you had a heart attack and died. Because of stuff I told you for years. Like, I'm telling you, watch that. I don't know, Mom. Oh, Eric, you. And the guilt from all of that just came crashing down on my mother, bro. And she just couldn't take it. So it just like, it came full circle, bro. And it's like, people do not be hearing men, and they think it's like they be on code to literally to death.
Literally to the death, bro. My baby moms, bro. Same thing. Her mom's relationship was very, very tumultuous because of, things they got going on. I ain't gonna go into detail, but she didn't apologize to her, bro, until on her deathbed. Some shit that she had confronted her with, she talked to her or whatever, and in her dying breath, she apologized, bro. And a lot of us, unfortunately, that's just how it is. You feel me? And like you said, bro, for the first person to love you, the person to bring you usher into the world, your first nurturer, your first teacher, all these different things, man. And like I said, bro, I don't even think people understand the toughness in that shit, Illa. For your world to come crumbling down from a mental and emotional standpoint, and then you still love in spite of, right? You feel me? And that's just, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, like I said, I think conversations like these, bro, a lot. It's in like, bro, it's so many dudes younger than us that's just, they can't, what is it or why, and like I said, man, like I said, this shit right here are the serious conversations need to be had, bro. That's real shit.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's even when I was interviewing Esme, the Instagram model. I hate to call her that because she do more than that, but that's her image. She was talking about how her mom's had her in a cage, man, and you think it don't. That's excuse me, because contrary to popular belief, that's why I interviewed her. Because when I was on a panel with her, I heard her talk about her childhood, and I'm like, I want to talk to her about that. I want to bring that to the surface because a lot of people don't. Because she said she was. Because like I said, I do these interviews not for like clout and all. I want to humanize the person because we dehumanize each other with this content shit. Oh, you just a red pill nigga, or you just a stripper bitch, or you just some basketball nigga. You just because you just looking at somebody on the screen. We ain't AI, we people. So regardless of what it looked like, everybody got a story, and and from that story could make you understand why people do the things they do.
They do. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like the shorty she said she was 350 pounds. First of all, what men got to realize is a woman got to feel pretty. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. That's just how their makeup is made. They have to feel pretty. They got to look in the mirror and feel satisfied. So I know a lot of us, we be like, yo, you pretty. And we be right. They do be fine. But it's a mental thing with them. It's like how we gotta feel like we could provide. It's like no matter what, your wife be like, baby, it's okay. If you broke, you like, man, fuck that shit. It ain't okay. Like certain stuff we got to have, and that they have to feel beautiful. And if it's like, nigga, you ain't never been a woman and been 350 in this superficial ass country. You don't know what that feel like. That's a different reality to be that big and try to assimilate in this superficial ass society. And coming from a childhood where your mother put you in a cage and beat you, sometimes when women go through things like that, they may overcompensate when they get older for feeling attractive. We're not justifying it; it's understanding the psychology behind it.
Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of these the 304s and stuff that we say, bro. Childhood sexual trauma. That's another big thing and another big issue. The lack of fatherhood has led to that, like skyrocketing rates. The father's the first.
It's not even about trying to figure out. We ain't playing matchmaker. It is what it is at this point. We just trying to figure out why, so we can give the game to the next generation. It's not about
help
we know what they're doing. So it's like if she live that life, cool. I'm just trying to figure out how you get here. What made
I'm glad you said that shit. Listen, bro, I am not trying to change no hoes, bro. Hoes gonna be hoes. We understand this. I'm just trying to keep the whole level at where it is and not get no more. You feel me? I'm trying to keep the whole bro. We got to do this shit like an ecosystem, man. The whole level is is overpopulated, bro. And like you said, when you have these women and it's just this vicious cycle to where she was a victim of abuse or CSA, different things like that. She's been touched and all these different things, right? And now she allows the same thing to happen to her daughter because the father's not there. The father's not a deterrent, and she wants her own happiness. Like I said, she wants to be desired. She wants to be loved. She wants to be needed. So she brings this ancient, predator around the children, and that's putting them. So yeah, man. Like I say, it's just so much shit, man. But like I don't think a lot of people. I don't think people don't understand people. People don't understand. I say this all the time. People do not understand the complexity of being human, bro. This shit is not cut and dry. No, it's not. It's not from a physical standpoint
to do that in this space, though. It's like you're not at this point. You're not going to change no one's mind. We just need to understand why now. Like we can't keep saying, but why? We know people. We already know what it is. It's just about understanding at this point. Like I said, fuck, because everybody keeps speaking as if we're all going to just be together and be this loving. We're past that.
Yep.
We just need to get along. And the only way to get along is through understanding. Every woman's not meant to be your lover. Like we passed that part, especially with our generation. We might have a friendship, a situationship or something. We just need to get along and respect each other because these conversations are extremely disrespectful. Women have been disrespecting us on publicly for too fucking long. And that's why men are speaking back. So it's about just getting back to the basics. Like I said on Lapeef a couple weeks ago, like get put a point where it's like, okay, I may not be with you, but hey, I could give you some advice from a man's perspective. You may not be with me, but maybe you can give me a perspective from a woman's perspective. Like, can we get to that point? Because we ain't gonna just skip straight from this place to marriage and matrimony. No, that's not about to happen, bro. You need to just understand, can she be your sister or your friend or something at this point? Because it's just too much has taken place. But I brought up Shorty to say that with all that being said about her, she didn't feel like she said, I said, did your mother ever apologize or did you ever, had that conversation? No, I just suppress it. I don't need the closure. And I'm listening to her, I'm like, yes, you do.
Yeah, you definitely do.
You definitely need the closure. But the women do that when it comes to their moms. They suppress all that pain and eat that, because by you suppressing all that with your moms, that has to be released somewhere. And oftentimes it's on us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they have a forgiveness dynamic for each other that they just don't have for men. You know what I mean? But yeah, what's your thoughts on that?
Nah, man, like I said, bro, I couldn't say it any better myself. Like I think one of the biggest issues and problems is a lack of emotional understanding and psychological understanding. We don't understand how the things are supposed to go, and most of the examples we've been given are unhealthy, and we nigger rigging a lot of stuff and just making it work, but it's not working properly, right? So from an engineering standpoint, right, a lot of things you have like a redundancy built into systems, so just in case one goes up, you got something that can keep the shit running. And I think we're usually, black people as a whole, we're running on like the secondary power source, never the main, because the shit is just never the way it's supposed to be, and we're never taught until, and then once you're finally taught the right way and you're doing it the right way, you're the wrong one. Just think about this. Once you've actually figured this thing out, right? Not an expert or anything, right? But you actually know what a healthy relationship is. You know what an actual self-love is. You know what I'm saying, how you're supposed to treat people, right? You're the weirdo. Going back to like the analogy you use with like being, you know what I'm saying, being chivalrous and shit and whatever. Nigga, why you being so nice? Like, ew. Like, that's how, so that's what I'm saying, man. Once you figure this stuff out, man, you're the alien.
It doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, you're the alien.
It's like when I hear this statement, ignorance is bliss, it's like sometimes I wish I didn't know what I knew. That's why I share it so much, because it's like I got to get this shit out. Because
hey,
young people, I tell them, bro, people, it ain't helping me that much. Because
not knowing is the best gift in the world, bro. Because like I said, once you know some shit, you can never look at it the way everybody else look at it. You can't do it. You can never. Your mind will not let you go back. You can't.
That's a fact, bro. Because I'm telling you, man, these chicks is crazy. Let me I got a few super chats. Shout out to the people that's donating. Thank y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Support the channel, y'all. Support the channel. This is real conversation, man. Somebody said, Mr. Fantastic, what made you go to the Navy and not the Air Force? You want to answer that real quick?
That's the recruiter that hollered at me. That's what.
There you go. Miss Plum said, love seeing brothers that are into esoteric occult knowledge. Happy to learn about each of you. Great interview. Thank you. Appreciate that. Ricardo Brown said, we need more combos like this. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Reaper Rails, great combo. Salute to both of y'all. This was needed. Yeah, man. I knew this was going to be a good one. I'm like, let me. They probably ain't gonna see this one coming. I'm gonna throw a curveball. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let me give my boy saying fantastic an expose. You know what I'm saying? He's more than just a panelist. You know what I'm saying? I want people to really, because I would hear you. You know what I mean? Because that's what I want to do. Because people put you in a category real quick in this space. So I'm like, man, to me, interviews separate you. It's like when somebody could put you in a one-on-one, they just want to pick your brain. To me, that puts you in a different light. So I want to be the first. Hopefully, I won't be the last to pick your brain. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate you doing this. What's something that you feel like, with all this information being said, with all this information that we know, despite I feel like it's been a detriment towards men, what is something that you have noticed from men with this information that you feel like they can be abusing it? Like, what's an extreme perspective that you're seeing from men that you feel like you could give a take?
Oh yeah,
in your perspective.
yeah, the red pill rage, quote unquote, right? That thing, you can't trust none of these women. All women ain't shit. There's no good women. Just going too far, bro. Going all the way out to the thing of where there's absolutely no way for you to win in this situation, right? I think that that's extremely dangerous and counterproductive.
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people probably think you wouldn't even think like that. So I'm glad we got that documented. Fantastic said you niggas is tripping.
Oh
so
yeah, I'll be cussing these niggas. No, I'll have I have somebody that's like certified. She 8-9 a dime. Oh, she's a 4. Like, come on, fam, stop it. You ain't never even seen nothing like this in your real life. But for the sake of, and I think this is another point. We talking about the panels, right? The chat's just as bad, if not worse, bro.
God.
Peer pressure. You got to stick to the red pill thing. You don't want to be a simp and this that, and the other. Niggas is like, oh man, well, you're paying for it. If you buy her dinner, you're a simp. If you do anything for her, you're a sucker. And I'm like, bruh, you fucking with y'all compatible, right? It's consistent box, right? Consistent box. She on your programs. She do what you want her to do. Don't cause you no issues. Yeah, bro. No. Hey, she'll figure it out. Ramen noodles and bologna. And I'm just like, bro, y'all gotta stop it, man. But again, bro, like I said, the wonderful thing about this shit, Illa, is like once you, you can't fool me, nigga. You can't fool me, okay? I'm 42. You can't fool me, bro. I seen you. I seen you, nigga. I seen y'all. I seen you miss everything in the club, wait till the club at 2 a.m. and you fucking telling Big Bertha, hey, you can't get in my car in the front, come around to the side, and you drive off for the night. You feel me? We lit Illa, like you said, we lived the best era of like everything, bro. I was outside. We
party. Like we party.
We didn't get the internet
until cell
like
phones. We wrote numbers on paper.
Exactly.
Even the sections. Remember back in the day, even if we went to the club, the sections were just where you would sit to drink. Nobody hanged out in the section. Everybody was on the fucking dance floor, bro. Dancing like, for real. Yeah. And to me, that's what this generation is missing. Because I go out here and there. I don't go out as much because the music sucked. It's like the music helped the courtship back then. Like, I'm still in love with you. You gotta dance with a girl to that song. It's like you the music made you talk to a chick. You had to. Like, you ain't with your niggas when that shit come on. So it's like the music don't even help these little niggas. So it's like they social skills are terrible. All they know is I'm a buy the motherfucker, or I got a section. In their defense, these little girls are not even receptive to social game. Like, I remember because we still look pretty young. So some women be thinking I'm like 20. I'm like, baby, appreciate it, but no. Not at all. They be thinking I'm lying about my age. I'm like, sure, you think somebody would want to be 40? Like, I wouldn't lie about being 40. Like, that's not something. Yeah, I'm 40. Yeah. No, I'm not, I wouldn't lie about that.
Yeah, the only thing that get me, bro, like I said, is this, right? It's like, oh, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, mom, but your hair is long though. So it's like, that you got some healthy hair. So when I was talking to her, I'm in front of her. She said, I got to check your social media. I'm like, why? She said, to make sure you're not a catfish. I said, I'm right here. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? It's like they want to fuck what you talking about. I want to talk to your profile. I want to see your digital footprint. It's like,
I need to see what kind of motion you got. How many followers?
And then most of the time when they see it, then they start hating. Oh, you got a little following. It's like, I don't even be telling women I do content. I wait till late. Like, this ain't something I wear on my sleeve.
Hey, man, shout out to you for that. Listen, bro, listen, unless she asked directly, bro, this shit right here, bro, and it's not me, oh, you hiding, you fake it. No, bro, I've never asked a woman her body count in my life, right? Baby, I'm just the pussy right here, and you giving it to me. I see in your paperwork. I'm protected, you protected. That's the only thing I'm concerned with, baby. You feel me? All that other shit, until I'm think about taking you serious, you know, even still, then that's not my question because she's never gonna tell you the truth in the first place, right? You're never gonna know the truth. So
I
it's
never
not.
understood the body
But
count
yeah,
conversation. Like, bro,
all of this. Well, what do you think about this and 50-50 and all like, bro? That's not that's not happening in real life. Not for me. But again, like I said, a lot of these people in these chats, bro, you know, they take this shit out into the real world, and then you find out when then you want to, you know what I'm saying? Why did she think I'm a weirdo? Why did she say I'm an incel? Why did she say, nigga, like, bro, leave this shit where it's at, bro.
exactly. But like, I feel like our generation, we learn in the field because it's like women is dating because it's a guy that's online, right? My one of my homies be sharing his stuff, and he be saying some real stuff, but it's like, nigga, you don't get girls, bro. And me, if you don't get women, and I could tell you don't, I don't give a fuck what you talking about, even if you make sense, because women is a contact sport, nigga. You could break down like it's a dude, he talk real fast. Yeah, so women do this, and women, it's like, yeah, that shit sounds good, bro, but you ain't doing that shit. So I don't give a fuck how well you can articulate that shit. I gotta get the vibe from you that, yeah, that nigga been around some chicks. Because you could articulate, this is not something you can Google. There's no app for this shit. You gotta get out there, get rejected, get your feelings hurt. You got to go through all of that shit, bro, to deal with women. Like, I don't want to hear from somebody who don't be touching and being around women. Like, you got to really get out there. And I think in our generation, we had to talk to them. We had to go up and pull their hand. We from the era where you go dance with a girl, she do this. And put your ass back. Like, you had to eat that. You had to be, and sometimes it ain't because something look wrong with you. It's like, you be like, bitch, I'm flying in the motherfucker. What you mean? Like,
yeah, what the hell going on? You trying to impress her homegirls and some shit, or she done talked to another nigga in the club and some shit. She ain't trying to fuck it up.
You had to eat that and turn around and do it again.
Exactly. On to the next one.
On to the next. These little niggas, these girls push them, they're gonna kill her. They're gonna shoot her outside.
Hey, put them hands to her, hands and feet, bro.
No.
But no, man. Like I said, I think that's the, and like I said, I think that, again, that's the importance, bro, and that's the wonderful thing of being able to have lived this shit. You feel me? Like you said, us for at least, you know, first 10 years of adulthood, bro. Everybody had a Facebook. Everybody, I always forget the one before that. What was it before Facebook? MySpace.
MySpace. Black Planet.
Yeah, MySpace, Black Planet. We had that shit, bro. Like you said, bro. That was, bro. All of that shit was, you know, 90+% of shit is interaction. Getting numbers in the mall. Going to the mall was a thing. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, IHOP, Waffle House popping after the club everywhere. You know what I'm saying? If you nigga, so again, man, like I said, I think just that, man. And like it's one of those you had to be there things. But like you said, now you got all of these relationship professors and these relationship coaches. So you give her the rejection,
shit, bro.
You give her the rejection, and then you see how she reacts to the rejection. Then you go in for the approach, but you draw back a little bit more. And it's like, Nick, man, if you don't get your ass out my face, nigga. Yeah, bro, this ain't that, nigga. This is not, you know what I'm saying? Every man has his own formula.
Go talk to her, be yourself, and if she fuck with it, she fuck with it. She don't, she don't. Like, it ain't no. You gotta just be yourself, and who fuck with it, fuck with it. It ain't no method. It ain't no program you could buy from some. Like, yo, I read my book. Now I'm getting 30 Instagram models a night. No, you're buying 30 Instagram models a night. Like, it just, like, stop. Like, I hate dating gurus. Like, that shit was never real to me, bro. You just got to go out and get your hands dirty, man. But yeah, bro, I'm not going to hold you too much longer. I think this was a great interview. I haven't eaten dinner or nothing, bro. I was late. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Illa was not on his job today. I had the brother waiting, and he was patiently waiting. Fantastic. Definitely a good sport. He don't be bitching and crying. That's one thing I like about him. He don't got to agree with you, and he can still see the manhood in you, still respect you. I feel like I learned more about him. I feel like we got more in common than I thought. And me and you got, it's one of the hats you got. I got the same hat. I'm like, we wearing the same hat. It's
the Toronto joint. I saw you, the Toronto hat.
Yeah, we got the same joint. We got the same joint, man.
Yeah, man.
But real quick, I'm gonna give you just a little rapid fire round. Kobe, Jordan, or LeBron?
Well, I gotta go Kobe, man. Again, I did
over Jordan.
What do you ask me? You the
All
GOAT?
right,
You saying GOAT?
LeBron or Jordan? Let's go there. LeBron or Jordan?
Oh, Jordan, hands down, not even close.
Kobe or Jordan?
If we talking GOAT, it's still Jordan, but my favorite player of all time is Kobe.
So
So
that's real. That's real. Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders,
Barry.
Adrian Peterson, Derrick Henry.
AP, easy, all day.
To me, I'm a Cowboy fan, but I think AP is the greatest running back I've seen with my eyes. Like, just at running the ball, I think he the best ever did it. Just running. Like, he couldn't catch for shit. But running that ball, that motherfucker was like a Dodge Charger out there on the field. What's another one? Tupac or Big?
Big.
Really? Okay.
Hands down.
Shout out to Fantastic for that, because I agree. I think Big was better, but I think Tupac was the better overall. Like, Tupac was bigger than a rapper. Like, he was some other shit. Jeezy or Gucci?
Jeezy. Come on, man. MacTown, man. What we talking about,
That's
man?
right. That's right.
Jeezy, come on, man.
Let's see. T.I. or Andre 3000?
Oh, 3 stacks all day.
All day?
I just argued with niggas about that the other day.
I think Andre 3000 is I love Andre. Outkast probably arguably my favorite group. But he hurt my feelings with that flute shit. Not like, it's like people be giving him so much credit. It's like, he got to give me an album, bro.
Yeah, he got us all walking around. He got us all walking around with that damn
Rain and some flute shit. Like, no, I want to hear you rap.
Yeah.
Are you a sports fan? Football?
Yeah.
What's your team?
But no, I'm not. College, that's it. I don't really. I follow, but I'm not a big football fan.
Bulldogs?
Of course.
Okay. All right, last question, bro. I'm gonna let you go. I got two. What's something you feel like you could work? What's something that you feel like you struggle with, even at this age as a man? Like, what's something that you feel like you feel like you could do better?
Procrastination. Bro. I say it, but I do my best work like in the clutch, in the crunch. But procrastination for me, bro. That's my biggest thing. That's my Achilles heel.
If you can walk away from this content, what's the legacy that you want to leave from the content that you produce online? Like, when you step away from it all, like, what do you want people to know about Fantastic's work?
Damn, well, that's a good question. I never lie, bro. I never lie. I never front it. The person I said I am, I am. I again, 99.9% of the right. Fantastic was always right, bro. Fantastic was right. I never brought my opinion. I ain't never gave no false facts. And my life experience, and like you said, the stuff that I've seen, proof positive that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And that everything I told you is a good way. Not necessarily the only way, but a very good path to take to, being successful in whatever it is you're trying to be successful in.
And one last question. If you can give advice to any young man or young woman in 2026, what would you tell them?
Learn how to love yourself.
Well, you can't argue with that. That's profound. The most profound things are very simplistic. You know what I'm saying? And
simple complexities, bro. I say it all the time. Simple complexities, man.
Absolutely. Well, fantastic. I think I got a little more insight on you. I think the Black Brotherhood has got a little closer tonight. I appreciate you at the time, bro. Sorry for my tardiness, but we still made it happen. I think it was a lot of jewels dropped. You know what I mean? And I appreciate, like you said, bro. As long as I'm got a panel, whether we agree or not, bro, I'll fuck with you. You can always pull up.
Hey, same shit here, man. And I appreciate you, brother, for the consideration at all times, man. Like I said, bro, we just because we disagree don't mean there's got to be no beef. You feel me? I don't take any of this
for the most part.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it is what it is. But hey, man, again, man, hey, great convo, man. I appreciate you, bro. And hey, get you some food, bro.
Yes. I gotta eat, bro. Sure. Appreciate you, fantastic. All right, y'all. That was a goodie. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Fantastic for being a good sport, man. I called myself taking a little 5-minute nap, and I said, "Oh shit, it's 8:30." I'm like, "Oh my god!" So, thank you for Fantastic for thugging it out for me. Your boy getting old, man. I need to get me some food. Shout out to everybody that pulled up. We'll be back at it tomorrow. I think I might be on Lapeef tomorrow.